Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for sharing the videos. And thank you for commenting on the videos. It's very important that I know what you think. Today, we're going to talk about another inventor, another genius inventor who made inventions, but others got the credit for it. We talk about intellectual theft. If we were going to put a black person's face to the meaning of intellectual theft, it would be the man we're going to talk about today. This is Granville T. Woods. He was known in his day as the Black Edison, which is an insult, calling him a Black Thomas Edison when Edison was one of the main ones trying to steal his inventions. He was one of the most prolific inventors of the 19th century. When you read biographies of him done by white writers, they will call him one of the most prolific black inventors, and I take issue with that. If what he was inventing was only used by black people, then it would be right to call him a black inventor. But if everybody benefited from his inventions, then he was an inventor. But he came up against the same obstacles that the black inventors of his day came up against, and that was the obstacle of being black. His inventions revolutionized transportation, but he faced many challenges as a black inventor, as I stated before. Granville T. Woods was regarded as the first African American mechanical and electrical engineer after the Civil War, and he jostled with other prominent inventors like Thomas Edison, George Westinghouse, and Frank Sprague. In 1887, he secured a patent for the induction telegraph, which allowed messages to be sent between moving trains and train stations. His discovery was a much-needed improvement to the communication system at the time, which was slow, shoddy, and led to train collisions. Now here we go. Soon after Woods patented his invention, Thomas Edison sued him, arguing he had first created a similar telegraph and was entitled to the patent. So Thomas Edison took Granville T. Woods to court over his own invention. Woods eventually won the battle over the patent, but the victory came at a hefty financial and personal cost, according to several historians. So now he had to go to court to fight Thomas Edison, because Edison is now saying he invented this telegraph system, this communication system. So Woods had to spend money to defend himself in court. He was actually sued twice by Thomas Edison. Edison was known for stealing other people's inventions. The miracle is that Granville T. Woods was able to win in court. This was 1887. These were Jim Crow days. It was almost like slavery, so that the court would be fair and grant him the right to his invention lets you know that, number one, it was his invention, and number two, Thomas Edison was counting on the Jim Crow system to give him the rights to another man's invention. Now, this is how Granville T. Woods was able to win the lawsuit over Thomas Edison. He had notes, sketches, and a working model of the invention, and that's what he presented to the patent office. He showed them drawings and diagrams of his invention. Thomas Edison didn't have those things, so therefore Granville T. Woods could explain what he did and how it was supposed to work, and that's why Woods won the lawsuit. In 1888, Woods manufactured a system of overhead electric conducting lines for railroads. This is called the third rail of the subway system, which is placed between two rails, and it provides power to the subway, which causes it to run safely and more efficiently. I want to share with you what was being said about Granville T. Woods in New York City in 2020. This article was published in a publication called The Daily Spectrum, and the headline says, Granville T. Woods' inventions revolutionized New York transportation. New York, the daily miracle. The New York City subway system, moving nearly 6 million people a day, was made possible by technology developed over a century ago thanks to a man nearly forgotten in history, Granville T. Woods. Woods was a genius, said Bridget Pride, reference librarian at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. He was a wonderfully intelligent electrical engineer. So Granville T. Woods was an electrical engineer, and his specialty was electricity, inventing things that moved and worked by electricity. So what have we here? In 1893, Woods patented the electric car, and in 1901 he sold it to General Electric because he was not able to get the funding that he needed to really manufacture and distribute the cars. But we're just now getting around to electric cars, when if they had gone with black inventors like Granville T. Wood, these cars would have been in use long ago, and we wouldn't have to be using all of this gasoline. As my husband always says, racism costs. He also invented this car, which he sold for $95,000. It's a really cute little car, another electric car that is self-charging. So let's end with this. The challenges of being a black inventor. Granville T. Woods ultimately sold some of his patents and devices to Thomas Edison and other industrialists, as well as companies like Westinghouse, General Electric, and American Engineering. Historians ascribe Woods' decision to sell his hard-won patents to an acknowledgement that it was difficult to market black American inventions to a largely white audience. Like most black inventors of the era, Woods had to concede that the race of the inventor did indeed affect the market value of the inventions. Some of the people who bought Woods' inventions didn't pay him fairly or failed to give him credit for his work, according to historians. Sometimes inventors lost all claims to their inventions once sold and received no profits. And you can bet that happened to him. Woods died of a cerebral hemorrhage in 1910, destitute and virtually forgotten for decades. He was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2006. Now, these black people invented these things back in the 18 and early 1900s. But now it's in the 2000s before they can get credit for it. Let me show you this. Now, I just said, and it is documented, that he invented the first electric car. But this says, according to the web search results, Granville T. Woods did not invent the electric car, but he did invent an innovative method of converting Manhattan's existing and extensive mechanical cable car system to electric traction. So I just told you that he sold some of his inventions and he wasn't properly paid for them. But once he sold his inventions, he sold his patents. He had the patents, but he sold the patents. So once you sell the patent, the person that you sell it to gets the credit. So now they're saying he didn't even invent the electric car, when he very well did. But if he sold the patent to whomever he sold it to, then they can say, well, he didn't invent it, I invented it, because I've got the patent. Whoever gets the patent gets the invention. So that's another tragedy of a black inventor back in those days. That is why in these modern days, black inventors know you don't let anything get out of your workshop until you get your patent. It has taken 100 years for Granville T. Woods, Lewis Latimer, and some of the others to get credit for what they did. Now, they haven't gotten all of the credit yet. It might take another 100 years for them to get all of the credit. But the truth eventually comes to the light. And I feel certain that the day will come in America where they will be given full credit for what they did. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening to the video. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and have a great day.